Corbain's. So testing, 1, 2, 3. Standard commentary voice, standard commentary voice. Chance voice, chance voice, chance voice. Big chance voice. Come. Oh. Hey. That's him. Okay, cool. 4 defeats on the bounce to open 2025 for this young unit, but, well, having earned some hard-earned lessons, they'll be eager to apply their learning and get a win today against Box Hill, themselves making the trek to the home of the Matildas, searching for a 3rd win on the bounce and another opportunity to surge further up the table. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for joining us on this fine Saturday afternoon in Melbourne's north, no matter where you happen to be logging onto the NPL Victoria YouTube stream from, be it somewhere here in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, or indeed anywhere around the world. As we see our 2 captains shaking hands out in the middle, Liv Ellis for Box Hill and Eva Goodsmith for the Football Victoria Academy. The hosts of the academy wearing their now well-known all navy blue strips. Box Hill United wearing their away white strips. Assuming that FV Academy will be kicking from left to right of your screen in this opening stanza, and Box Hill United going from right to left. 3-0 defeat for the FV Academy last week against Brunswick Juventus, whilst Box Hill United, well, they huffed and they puffed and they eventually blew the Bentley Greens down, securing a 1-0 win thanks to Katie Cox's 3rd goal in 2 games. She also got a brace in their 2-0 win over Boroondara the week prior, did the American. Cox gets the start today, but there is one major subtraction in the Box Hill lineup in the form of starting goalkeeper Chloe McKenzie. The 18-year-old is walking around here at the home of the Matildas in a boot, so she will not be able to feature in today's game, coming off what was a performance that earned her a Team of the Week nomination last week, staging a series of crucial interventions and last-gasp challenges on breakaway Bentley Greens attacks when the score was still 0-0, really putting her side in a position to take that 1-0 win. But she actually got injured basically in the first few minutes of the game, which in hindsight makes her performance all the more impressive. But with cup action on the horizon as well, Box Hill have opted to not risk her today, but that instead means that we have a debut between the posts for Box Hill. Senior NPLW debut for Marla Munro. Signed from Heidelberg in the off-season. She's been playing with the 17s, a bit of 20s action this season, but now Munro gets a taste of senior football for Box Hill in this game against the FV Academy. In front of her, we've got Josephine Orsolino, Liv Ellis, Zoe Hudson, Emma Peroni, Katie Cox, Sophia Paliwada, Isabel Flanagan, Victoria Zikas, Nicolina Bucalo, and Elwyn Parbury. So Paliwada, who missed last week, comes straight back into the lineup as well. Gabrielle Simpson, who started against her former side, the Bentley Greens, last week, has moved to the bench. It's Paliwada, who was on international futsal duty last week, gets an early touch in the midfield. Knock it across to Cox. Ellis now. Peroni on the left, forced back inside, just puts the ball across the front of the penalty area. The FV Academy initially are able to clear. Battling for it in there is Chelsea Biggs, one of 2 players inserted into the starting 11 by coach Santi Escudero today. We'll take you through the Academy starting 11 in a moment, once they're able to clear their lines. As they knock the ball around the back line, as this NTC program is wont to do, trying to keep their heads and play football out from the back. They've got Charlotte Prehorishan in goals, Annabelle Yates in front of her, Amelia Tartaglia, Jade Tam, Eva Goodsmith, Chelsea Biggs, Kaya Jugovic, Alice Franku, Annika Doveston comes back into the starting 11, Fiorina Yara and Clancy Westaway rounds out their starting 11. So Biggs and Doveston coming into the side. Eva Kokotis and Ella Hamilton both making way. They're on the bench today. And Box Hill have themselves a free kick in their own half of the pitch. One game already played this weekend. The Bentley Greens hosting Spring Hills. That one finishing 2-2. Another action that has just kicked off. The Essendon Royals against the Bulleen Lions and Alamein against Heidelberg. Boroondara hosting Preston at 4 p.m. out of the Benito Club. And then tomorrow, South Melbourne hosting Brunswick Juventus. As Box Hill looking to build out from the back. Two teams which profess a desire to keep the ball on the turf and get things going. And here comes Box Hill. They're bursting in behind. The early chance, well, it's deposited into the bottom corner of the net, but perhaps explaining how so much space opened up there. The flag is raised, and the goal will not count. Josephine Olesino's goal tally for the year remains at 1. Perhaps a sign of intent, maybe a shot across the bow of this FV Academy side from Box Hill. And now that is charged down by Nicolina Bucalo. She scored a brace the last time this fixture was played. And a heavy 6-0 win for Box Hill at Wembley Park back in round 22 of the 2024 campaign. These two sides did play each other in non-competitive football in the pre-season, but now 3 points on the line this afternoon. And Box Hill maybe beginning to just shade these exchanges of play across the opening 5 or so minutes and trying to put the pressure on. Cox just laying it off. There's space on the left if Box Hill can move the ball across quickly. They're attempting to do so, but FE emerging, moving as one. Submerging Matilda's program to get across and cut off the lanes. Ball is again knocked in behind. Flanagan giving chase for Box Hill. It's knocked back. Tam now receives the ball from Horishan. Had a bit of work to do, but was able to get it up that flank. Tatalia played the way she was facing, back to her keeper. Franco trying to instigate a bit of triangle work from the hosts. Yates came under significant pressure, kept her head and the ball. Westaway trying to slide the ball in behind, deflected off Victoria Zekas, who now gets on the ball and sends it back to Marla Monroe. Instantly recognisable in the headwear. I wonder if she's even old enough to remember Petacek, let alone use him as an inspiration. Median age of just 17 in this FE emerging squad as they're forced back on their heels. Flanagan, she's through. Can she get a touch? No, cleared away at the last by Eva Goodsmith. Horishan was off her line in a flash and got contact with it, but then the ball bouncing behind her. But the Football Victoria Academy skipper, aware of the danger and seeing it off before the Philippines international could strike. But Nicolina Bucalo now has the opportunity to whip something in from that right flank. Out-swinging right-footed corner incoming. The runs come. Nodded on, up for grabs as it scoots through the penalty area. Cox couldn't make contact with it, and it wouldn't have mattered if she had, because, again, the flag was raised over on that far side. And the Football Victoria Academy can have themselves a free kick. Lauren White and Liana Georgiev are our assistants this afternoon. It's Shab Shaban with the whistle in the middle of the park. Giselle Spetzer, our fourth official. As Jugovic unable to wrangle that one, sees it bounce off her boot. Ellis picks up the crumbs of her own throw-in, heading it forward. The ball has been kept in. Tam playing it across the park. Natalia kept it going, switch of play. Good one from Academy, knocked on the touchline by Yaria. That is where Box Hill will pounce. Hudson. Well, ran out of real estate in a hurry, did Hudson. Goodsmith unable to capitalise on it as Box Hill immediately went it straight back. And now, well, there was space to operate in down that right flank for Nicolina Bicalo. She couldn't bring it in. Cox now. Going one way and then the other against Tartaglia, but 17-year-old defender wasn't fooled. Tartaglia, a member of the Junior Matildas squad that went to the 2024 Under-17 Asian Cup. Eliminated in the group stage. Were the Junior Matildas in that tournament. Actually playing against a former squad, Tartaglia joined the NTC program from Box Hill in 2022. Alice Franco just getting enough of a boot on it to take it away from her marker and put it out. Ellis, throw to the top of the box. Cox brings it down, opted not to go to Peroni, instead back out to Ellis. High ball towards the back peg. Horishan was coming through with a head of steam. In the end, nobody made contact with it, but the young goalkeeper, the 18-year-old, back at the home of the Matildas in the NTC program after spending some time with the Preston Lions last season. Reacted quickest and got out to claim it. But Cox, speaking of reacting quickly, sliding across and blowing up Emerging's attempts to play out from the back. As mentioned, this group of Emerging Matildas, they do like to try to play out from the back, keep it along the grounds, and it's good for their long-term development, but in the cut and thrust of senior football, it will present pressing opportunities, the likes of which Box Hill are looking to exploit early on. Again, ball over the first line of defence, but Cox is there immediately providing a challenge once again, battling for it with Clancy West away, and in the end battling for it with a bit too much enthusiasm. As the free kick goes the way of the hosts. Lev Ellis putting the ball out just inside her own half. Hudson found herself in a bit of strife there, but getting enough contact on it to see the ball out into the academy side of the pitch, and then Tam was set a task, but she answered. Appeals for a free kick in the middle of the park from Westaway, unheeded. Fortunately, to spare herself some blushes, she was able to win the ball back. Reaction there for the smack of the ball as that was deflected out. Fortunately, as mentioned, it's a rather beautiful day, so won't sting quite as much as it could have had we been in the dog days of winter. Well, play continues there, but miscommunication perhaps between the Aria and Jurgovic, as the latter, just that open palm expression of where was the run after she gives it away. The universal language. That is that open palm and point. Now, Molisino, again, finding herself in an offside position. That one, rather simple adjudication. High ball over the top now. Yaria has come onto it. She's going to look to chip the keeper. Probably the right idea in the end, because Box Hill were getting numbers back to block off her teammates' runs, and it wasn't too far above the crossbar of young keeper Marla Monroe. Making her senior NPLW debut, no doubt a heart-in-mouth moment as she sees an attacker streaming in towards her goals from the left. Now she looks up and sees 3 defenders on the edge of her penalty area. Looks to go over the top of them. Does. Ball up for grabs now in the middle of the park. Franku comes up with it. Knocks back to Tam. Goodsmith. Goes past a few challenges, a few markers before sending it back to her centre-back Tam, who looks to switch the play across. Box Hill want a flag, and they will get one. Felina Iari is radar just a little bit off. Ball in behind. Will the flag be raised? That is one potential question as Peroni looks to get on the end of it. In the end, it's redundant as Rehorishan claims. And emerging. I'm going to come out quickly. Well, they're not going to be able to get out quickly, but they will retain possession. Quick passing, trying to spring a move in behind. Iaria's pace will help with that. Looking up, trying to find a teammate in the middle of the penalty area and the effort. Franku let it come to her. And she forces a good save from Marla Monroe in the goals. The teenage custodian. She'd already watched one ball sail over the crossbar, but on that occasion having to get down at the near post and keep it out. Ball in. The keeper misses it, and it's going to be bundled in across the line. The FV Academy take the lead. I think that might have last come off a Box Hill player. We'll quickly check what passes for a replay here live on location. Bring up the YouTube stream and have a look. A big pack formed. Chelsea Biggs was in there. Certainly, Franku immediately celebrated the harness, albeit I don't think she was in the pack where it bounced off. Well, one for the scorers to figure out. If we get the official word on who scored, we'll let you know as soon as it comes to hand. But for now, Coach Santi Escudero and his side won't quibble too much about who scored the goal because at the moment they lead. Just the third of the 5 games they've played so far they've scored. The other 2 games, they suffered, well, a heavy 7-2 defeat against South Melbourne in round 2 and then a 5-2 loss to Heidelberg here in round 3. So no doubt they will be hoping that the omens of scoring in this game don't bode like it did in those. So Box Hill immediately look to get up the pitch and answer back quickly after suffering that set-piece sucker punch. Now the hosts coming forward once more. Can they make it 2 in quick succession? Iaria. God, she's quick. Turning on the jets. Looking for the cutback. Deflected out for a corner. Wow. Can they now double their money in similar fashion? First goal scored from a bit of chaos from a corner sent in from the right side. Now Eva Goodsmith will head across and send something in from the left. Monroe's effectively having to lean on her defender to try to get some breathing room. The young goalkeeper not being given space to operate in by the academy as the ball is swung in again. Monroe got a punch. Not the most convincing, but it did do the job. And then the long range effort not quite hit the way that Tantalia would have wanted it. And it was offline, but collected nonetheless by Isla Monroe. Flanagan, that taken off her, immediately rushed back to try to win it. Ball goes out for throw in for the hosts. Sent long in the direction of Jugovic. She couldn't bring it down, was surrounded by two defenders. Good vision from Parbury to spring Box Hill forward. Palawater forced wide by Biggs. Now, who did that last come off? It last came off Box Hill. So Football Victoria Academy have themselves a goal kick. Taken short, Yates, Tam. Last off the head of Cox. The hosts moving forward in spurts. Another throw in inside Box Hill's half of the pitch now, and then there we go. A few more metres gained, and they can hurl it in once more. Now at the turn of Box Hill to just leapfrog up the pitch. Molly's now finally played central. Molisino knocking it into the path of Paliwater. Kept play moving in that direction before it's sent back up for grabs. Well, last came off Tam, but wasn't her intention to send it in the direction of Horisha. So the keeper just grabs it. Just over 20 minutes gone here, and if you are just joining us, it is the host, the Football Victoria Academy, with a 1-0 lead. Taking the lead in the 15th minute. Bit of chaos in the box after a corner. Saw the ball scoot into the back of the net. And Box Hill looking to respond. Another ball swung in. And towards the back post. Knocked back central by Peroni. And then the long range effort forces a heck of a save from Horisha. Getting across to her right. Knocking the ball out for a corner. But this young keeper, a lot of raps on her. And demonstrating why just then. Swung in from the left. Hack forms. Cox got a head on it, but Mahorishan just watching it sail through the air and nestle in her awaiting gloves. Ostensibly set pieces would be one area that the academy side would be weaker in than their opponents, just by virtue of the fact that they're all young teenagers. As we get our first drinks break of the game, a median age of 17 in this squad. Having said that, Box Hill not exactly grizzled in comparison, median age of 21.5. Coach Kogilan Sabaratnam's side. As mentioned, debutant in goal in 17's keeper Marla Monroe after an injury to Chloe McKenzie. Do have 582 games of senior NPLW experience in this Box Hill squad, albeit 23% of those are Liv Ellis, playing NPLW game 135 today. In fact, the median number of NPL women's Victoria games specifically, so not senior football in general, just senior football in this league. It's actually, the number is higher for Football Victoria Academy than it is for Box Hill. They came in with a median of 15 games played in the Victorian top flight, did the hosts. Box Hill, 12. Annika Doveston, the most experienced player in this NTC side's ranks, brought up game number 50 for the squad back in round 3 against Heidelberg United. Just the 10th player in the program's history to log 50 senior games. Can move into 6th all time if she plays every game this season. In fact, she's also the leading NPL Women's Victoria scorer in this side. She's got 10 career goals, which is also the number of goals that Nicolina Bucalo has. It's more than anybody else in this Box Hill side when it comes to goals in the Victorian top flight. Bucalo with a return of 10 in her first season for Pythagoras last season. And now you just see maybe the impact of those early flags on Box Hill as they tried to get in behind. Lucino opting not to chase that one. She might have been offside and decided better of it, but after being caught offside early on, that's just going to affect the positioning and affect the mindset of these attackers, even if it's subconsciously. Maybe temper their runs a step. When you're a defender, you'll take any sort of advantage you can get. Meanwhile, though, it's Box Hill's defenders about to be called into action. Ellis got a head on it. Franku, one way and then the other, and then... Oh, it's cruel for the debutant goalkeeper, Marla Monroe. She got her hands to it on the first time of action. But Alice Franku wound up and hit it with enough force that she couldn't hold it. And it will scoot inside that near post to double the hosts' lead. And this junior Matilda has her first goal of the season, the 17-year-old. And here in the 27th minute of the contest at the home of the Matildas, it is FV Academy 2, Box Hill United 0. As mentioned, it was a winless start to the season for this young NTC program, but 2 goals to the good inside the opening half an hour, certainly providing them with an excellent foundation to claim their first win of the 2025 campaign. for Box Hill, of course. 2 goals conceded early enough that they wouldn't, by any stretch of the imagination, imagine themselves out of this one. As mentioned, Cox, who's coming into this game in some good form. Goal against the Bentley Greens last week, 2 against Boroondara the week prior. Ulasino certainly knows where the goals are, as does Bucalo. Isabella Flanagan, Philippines international, played at the Women's World Cup, started all 3 group stage games. Set to jet out for international futsal duty soon as well. Handy play to have if you're chasing a deficit. They're going to have to win the ball back before they do any of that. Opportunity to do so here. Bucalo on that far side. Was forced to hold up, but she picked her pass well. The flag stays down. Olasino. And again, Charlotte Rahorishan getting across almost horizontal in the air. And denies the American attacker at her near post. High ball in, but it's bending out for a goal kick. Tam puts her boot through it, sent it straight onto the forehead of Cox. Sent forward by Doveston. Yaria trying to turn and face the right way, but she's defended very well. Zekas wins her side the free kick. Flanagan just got wrong-footed, couldn't challenge for the ball. Ellis getting forward to try to keep it locked in the attacking third. FV Academy coming away with it. Through Clancy West away. Forward to Franco. Jugovic lets it come to her. Coming under pressure from Ellis. Sliding challenge is a fair one. And play is still alive. Jugovic reacted quicker, sent it in. And Doveston denied. Marla Monroe getting out and getting enough on it to put it over the crossbar and keep this game at 2-0. So after the error that led to FA Academy's second goal, the young goalkeeper getting a much-needed confidence boost with that save. As Goodsmith sends in another one, and you can really see where this FA Academy side is keying in on where they want these set pieces to go. To a massive bodies atop the 6-yard box. On that occasion, it ends up with a Box Hill free kick. Oh, that's a poor pass out, though. And Franco, well, she won the meat tray with the from the raffle once. Bought another ticket on that occasion, but the save is made. Ball bouncing forward. Bucalo helps it along on its way. Now Flanagan's in the middle. Can she get a touch? Flanagan. It was a clever one, and then she'll bundle it over the line. The Philippines international has her first goal in Pythagoras colours. And in a flash, this deficit is halved. For Horishan, she's made a series of strong saves already in this game, but on that occasion, it was a clever first touch to loop it over her, and then Flanagan crashing the net and ensuring that there would be no last gasp clearance. So 33 minutes gone here at the home of the Matildas. FA Academy 2, Box Hill United 1. Ellis knocks it back for Zekas. Just sends it in the opposite direction. Peroni in the vicinity. But it bounces out for a throw-in. Ellis got a head on it. Bucalo trying to turn it around the corner for the run of Parbury, doesn't come off. Tartaglia forced to go backwards with it. Shrugging off the challenge was Doveston. Bucalo now in possession for Box Hill. Olasino couldn't nod the ball on forward. Now ball in behind, and well, Olasino's reacted quickest enough. She's got space on the right. Does she have teammates arriving in time? Had to wait. Now they get there, but the ball just over the head of Peroni. You had Flanagan in the box as well. And you had Josephine Olasino reacting to the ball going in behind. Daylight, and then everybody else. Clancy West away. Back to her keeper. Ball knocked forward. Ellis sends it out with her head. Just over 10 minutes of regulation remaining in this opening stanza per the big old scoreboard here, plus whatever added time fourth official Giselle Spezza indicates. Just saw the Box Hill substitutes staying limber on the sideline, and now the FA Academy subs moving across to do the same. Don't imagine we'll see any changes in these remaining 10 or so minutes of the opening stanza, but half-time could see one of the other coaches opting to make a change. FA Academy to defend what is now a 2-1 lead. Box Hill to continue to bite into that deficit and maybe take the lead themselves. Well, it was a clever little idea there from Clancy Westaway, just trying a little spin move and knocking the ball between her defender's legs. Completed the spin, but couldn't get the ball in behind her marker. Goodsmith. And on the right flank, trying to combine with Yates. And into a somewhat crunching challenge. Peroni loses out. Franco's there. High ball in. Headed away. Franco, the scorer of the Academy's second goal, on the ball again. Cox taking it back for Box Hill. Ball up for grabs. Yates coming away with it. Went round Peroni before being challenged by Flanagan. Biggs sending it out to the right flank, but just unable to calibrate the radar. And Box Hill will have possession. Monroe Sends it in the direction of Ellis. She couldn't control it. Ellis Franco just takes it over the line, ensuring her side will have the ball. Then she's instructed to leave it so Yates can come forward to take the throw in. Well, that is not where Cox wanted to put that one. It bounces off her shin and out for what will be an FE Academy corner. Will be taken in the 39th minute. Same circumstances in which the hosts took the lead. And as they have done all game, the hosts just putting one player in the 6-yard box and then having everybody else make their runs from atop the penalty area. The ball, again, is sent into that top of the 6-yard box, far post position it has all game. This time found the feet of an FV emerging player in the form of what I think was Chelsea Biggs. A little side-footed volley attempting to just cushion the ball inside the post. Instead goes wide. Callow can't chase it down before Tartaglia claims it. Always played central. Paliwater got a boot on it, but Box Hill couldn't take possession. Alice Franco. Jurgovic is in the middle, can't make its way to her. The danger not cleared. Doveston, the cross comes shot. And it's going to stay in play in the end, and potentially, well, Box Hill will not be able to move out quickly in transition because Alice Franco was staked down. Talked about how nice the conditions were. Should probably add the disclaimer that that's certainly the case for the viewers here at the home of the Matildas, but it is somewhat hot conditions for the players. We did see a drinks break observed already. Obviously concerns from referee Shab Shaban that Franco would have suffered a head injury as she called the game to a stop immediately, which means that Box Hill have themselves a drop ball in the middle of the park. Flanagan made the run but couldn't combine with Bucalo. Tartaglia. Tam. Yates. Some space for Yates to run into before keeping it along the turf. Jurgovic went back to get it in front of Victoria Zikas, and her endeavour sees her brought down and winning a free kick. Now, interesting scenario here. Almost certainly too far out to score. But we did also see Alice Franco back herself and induce an error from this young keeper on debut. So regardless of how it happens from this free kick, be it a delivery or a long-range attempt, FE will want to make the keeper work. They're going to work it short down the right. Yates with the ball in. It's a good delivery and it just sort of bounces sort of off the hip of the area. The hip attack, as it were, but not the most precise of instruments to try to send something goal-bound. And it goes out for a goal kick. Ellis, closed up by Franco. I want to keep the ball, and the FA Academy winger continues to make a nuisance of herself, and it does eventually win it back. Goodsmith's pass, not the best one. Hudson came up with it. Bucalo. The ball ricochet up on her first touch, but she goes back and gets it and then knocks it in behind, sets Cox, attacks to go and get it. Biggs steals a march on her, sends it to Horishan. See just a few tired bodies from both sides out there as this first half approaches its conclusion. Just about 2.5 minutes of regulation remaining as the ball is knocked in behind Jugovic. Series of players arriving, 4 emerging, but the ball in as they just began to make their way into the penalty area is cleared away. Molasino scans her surroundings before she takes off. Goodsmith going with her the whole way. The Academy doing a good job to take the momentum out of the Box Hill attack, at least initially. Molasino bursting forward and shooting, but sending her effort wide of the posts. Ellis sending it back in. Peroni and Flanagan in there. That's where the attack peters out, just for the moment. Last minute of regulation here at the home of the Matildas. Ellis for Flanagan. Rode the challenge from Alice Franco, winning her side another throw in. Numbers back for FE Academy. All 11 effectively in their defensive third. Flanagan taking it inside. Palewater trying to combine and knock it forward, but bouncing off Josephine Olasino, and she knew more than anyone that she was offside. As 3 minutes of added time here is signalled for at the home of the Matildas. 180 seconds of extra football to end this opening stanza, with the hosts FE Academy holding on to a 2-1 lead over Box Hill United in this round 5 NPL Women's Victoria contest. Goodsmith. Space to operate in as she carries the ball forward, and then it's a good ball slid in behind. Clancy Westerway was on the scene, but so was the Box Hill defence. And the vision there from Goodsmith. Outstanding. Molasino to Bicalo. Is there time for Box Hill to launch forward once more? Cox knocking the ball into space. 45 minutes of football has sacked both of these teams there, as you can see just the jog that they're forced to muster to chase that one down. Throw in for Box Hill. Cox coming under immense pressure over there underneath the scoreboard, winning another throw in for her side, which she will defer away. Parbury's on the scene. Olasino knocking it back. High ball in. And then just unable to get underneath it, Peroni. Franco going to work. Last coming off the boot of Emma Peroni. Newly signed from Brunswick Juventus this season. A Box Hill attacker. Surely we will likely see the halftime break if FE Academy are able to clear their lines here. And not, because it's going to be a throw-in for Box Hill, so potentially one last throw of the dice in this opening half. It's Ellis. High ball into the box. Picallo will give chase. The pace of the ball, combined with her Horisham being on the scene, ensured that she wasn't able to affect the play, and it will instead bounce out for a goal kick. Just taken short, Goodsmith. Just able to sneak the ball through, Franco. And as that ball gets away from Annika Doveston, that will also signal the halftime break here at the home of the Matildas, and searching for their first win of the 2025 campaign in this fifth round game. It is the FE Academy that holds a 2-1 lead as the two sides make their way to the sheds. Some chaos in the box, seeing the ball bundled over the line in the 15th minute for the hosts to take the lead before Alice Franco backed herself and sent in a wicket shot to the near post, which Marla Monroe, the young... Hello, one and all, and welcome back to the home of the Matildas for the second half of this NPL Women's Victoria match of the round, match of round 5 between the Football Victoria Academy and Box Hill United. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for joining us once more for the second stanza of this contest. Or if you are just logging on for the first time, you join us with the hosts, the Football Victoria Academy, with a 2-1 lead. Some chaos in the box leading to what we think was an own goal to put them ahead in the 15th minute. And then Alice Franco doubling their advantage, taking advantage of an error from debutant goalkeeper for Box Hill, Marla Monroe. And then Philippines international Isabella Flanagan dragging one back for the visitors to ensure that this game remains on a knife edge as we approach the second half from what is a glorious afternoon, certainly for the spectators here at the home of the Matildas. It has been some hot conditions for the players, a drinks break in that first half. And we also are going to have a change from the visitors to kick off the second 45. Emma Peroni will make way. Amira Macunya has entered the fray, the newly signed Macunya coming down from NPL New South Wales side, the Northern Tigers. Also some experience in the Northern New South Wales NPL, but now here in the centre of the universe in NPL Women's Victoria. And the action resumes once more. And we also are going to get another change signalled as well. We need that one in a second. But meanwhile, here comes the Academy. Can they strike quickly? Dangerous looking run from Yaria down the left flank. Doesn't quite come off for the attacker. I believe the change has been made on the FE Academy side as well. Eva Coquitos coming on for Amelia Tartaglia. So a new left back for the hosts. Coquitos started last week in their loss to Brunswick UVA, now thrown on to help defend a 2-1 lead, which would give them their first 3 points of this 2025 campaign. This is Katie Cox on the ball in the midfield for Box Hill. Looking to make it 3 games on the bounce with a goal, the American midfielder. Goal scoring streak coinciding with 2 wins on the bounce for Box Hill. We wait to see if that's any kind of omen. There's that ball just hoofed clear by Elwyn Parbury, but it's sent straight back from whence it came by the FE Academy. Yaria once more. Got a good touch on it. Players were arriving, chief amongst them Kaya Jugovic for the FE Academy. The young striker just making her way into senior football for the first time this season. One of 4 players to make her senior debut in round 1 against Alamein. Couldn't make contact with it. Trying to work their way down the right flank now. The FE Academy doesn't quite come off. And now Box Hill switched the play and tried to break quickly. Macunya, well, went round the challenge of Clancy Westaway, but then found nothing but navy blue shirts waiting for her. Gotis just ran into a bit of trouble there. Macunya sprinting towards her. The 2 substitutes set to battle it out on that flank. New right winger for Box Hill, a new left back for the FE Academy to open proceedings here. Macunya Closed down by Kokitas. And well to open up the space and send in a left-footed cross, but that's far too close to keeper of Charlotte Rahorishan standards. Jugovic, first time ball. Finds a teammate. The area now, space to operate in on the left. Looking for the cut back across the face of goal, and well, Victoria Zika's got a touch on it, but it was a touch that could have gone anywhere. Unfortunately for the 21-year-old, it was a touch that just scooted past the post and out for a corner. Ball whipped in. Important header from Cox. The Academy retaining possession on the edge of the area, and, well, in-swinging ball whipped in from Doveston, but Monroe grabs it. And the danger for now passes. Both sides want it. Box Hill will have it. Macunya left it. Olasina claimed it. Came under immediate pressure from Jade Tam. Throw in taken quickly. Flanagan, could she keep it in? She can. But in her haste, unable to make proper contact with the cross, and Rahorishan once more comes out to claim. Kept in there. All right, Kokotis. Biggs. Looking it forward. Ellis is on the scene. For Box Hill. Albeit she's going to have to get back now as the ball is going in the opposite direction. Jugovic lost her footing but did well to keep the ball. Jugovic just sliding it across. Goodsmith gives chase. So maybe momentum lost, but possession retained for the FV Academy. All across the penalty area, spills out, but before Franku could bring it down and have a shot, Ellis coming across to make the challenge. And then going down onto the turf and staying there, the Box Hill skipper. I've mentioned it's been a hot one for the players out there. Shams Shaban, our referee, signalling for the trainers to make their way on. A few other players taking advantage of this stoppage to pause, and well, got the binoculars out, and it looks like Ellis perhaps holding on to her right ankle, came up a cropper in that challenge. Players from both sides now turning this injury stoppage into a makeshift drinks break. As the vastly experienced Liv Ellis is certainly massaging that right ankle area, maybe the top of her boot or a calf muscle. Pause of play here with the scores at Football Victoria Academy 2, Box Hill United 1. Potential bench options for coach Hogyanan Sabaratnam. He's already brought Amari Macunya on. He's got Gabrielle Simpson, Zoe Kataforis, Theodora Wilson and Georgia Karaparidis on the bench as well. And well, certainly looks like, well, there's two changes being prepared by Box Hill. Gabrielle Simpson is one of them, as is Theodora Wilson. Wilson, a defender by trade. And she does enter the fray for Liv Ellis. Meanwhile, the other change that is made, Bucalo is going to make way for Gabrielle Simpson. So after being in the starting lineup against the Bentley Greens last week, her former club, Simpson comes off the bench this time around, tasked with helping her side. Well, step one, erase the deficit, and then step two, no doubt, to try to take the lead. As that ball is played in behind, it's onside. The newly introduced Simpson sprinting for it. Harrison reacted quickly and reacted well. Box Hill looking to keep the pressure on. Kokotis kept her head, kept her cool. The Aria looking for Jugovic. Certainly the Aria increasingly threatening on that left flank for the Football Victoria Academy. Ellis, meanwhile, exchanging his smile and a bit of a joke with force official Giselle Spetzer as she makes her way into the dugout. And then the long-range effort from Goodsmith. Goal of the season type areas had her radar been attuned there from Eva Goodsmith, but Marla Monroe content to just watch that one sail over the crossbar. FA Academy winning the ball up high up the pitch. Cox turning it upfield. Olasino not allowed to turn. The Aria, one way and then the other. The Goodsmith. Calm on the ball, gets it to Tam. Clever first time pass to Annabelle Yates. Franco, high ball in. Just getting away from her, sneaking towards that near post. And it is claimed comfortably by Monroe. Kokotis sliding challenge. Took it away from Macunya. Now the young wing back. Thrown on at half-time, trying to make an impact. The Aria, she's making an impact as well. All whipped in. Franco was arriving, but it bounced over her head. Play not dead. Shot across her face from Annika Doveston. Not able to generate the sufficient power on it to trouble Marla Monroe. And the keeper claims it. And speaking of claiming it, that's just what Yates looking to do over there. Battling for it on FE Academy's attacking right flank. Tam sends it all the way back to Harrison. She kept her head, but pass sold her teammates into a bit of trouble. Biggs able to keep the play moving. Santi Escudero in the FE Academy dugout. Maybe not the biggest fan of perhaps a slightly too casual moment of play there from his side, but they've got the ball now into the attacking third. Doveston there, as is Jugovic. It's a good ball in. Yari was there, but the goal-bound header is claimed. Marla Monroe, she had a few nervy moments in the opening stanza, but now is increasingly getting comfortable between the posts. Speaking with Kogilan Sabaratnam before the game, he wasn't pleased to lose Chloe McKenzie, but he was pleased to give the young keeper a senior debut. Says that Box Hill are a big fan of hers, and now we're beginning to see just why as they come forward once more. Olasino goes down. All ball is the immediate signal from referee Sham Shaban. The visitors will have to content themselves with a corner. The offer of the short corner is offered by Elwyn Parbury, waved away. Molicino, ball in towards the back post. Cox unable to get ahead on it. Flanagan goes down and wins her side a free kick. Flanagan standing over it. Josephine Molicino coming across as well for a conversation. Clancy Westaway on the scene for the FE Academy. Ball gets whipped in towards goal. Morrison had to adjust mid-flight and gets the punch on it. Macunya, clever touch to knock it back central. Game of head tennis breaks out in and around the 6-yard box. Just booted clear on the FE Academy, and then Iaria lays it off. Doveston, she sends it back to Coquitos. Fancy footwork to ensure that she retained possession under the pressure from Macunya. And well, that's not the best pass. Rolls out. Flanagan, seizing upon it quickly, wants to get the ball to Simpson. And the ball is put out for a corner. Molicino offers the short option. It's going to be ignored. The ball is sent in towards the back post. Cox was waiting for it. And her header sails up and over the crossbar. Nice spin move. Sees Academy initially break forward. She'll scramble to get it away. Molicino. Cox sends it forward in the Macunya direction. Simpson going to turn it around the corner for Flanagan. Macunya comes up with that one. Increasing levels of pressure being applied by Box Hill in these recent exchanges. All in the hands of Elwyn Parbury. Simpson gives chase, unable to keep it in. Jade Tam just on the scene as well to make sure that it would go out for a goal kick. Now here in behind the area, she's been good today. Can she get a goal? Sending it straight at Monroe, who closes down the angles, claims the ball, and potentially keeps her side in it. Skittles everybody. scramble for it. Hudson just steers it out. Box Hill initially shaping like they wanted to take it short, but the FA Academy doing a good job of erecting a cordon, which is going to force them to go long. Box Hill knock it forward. Chelsea Biggs on the scene. Gottes laying it off for Biggs. Goodsmith tried to just let it run. She knocked the ball to Doveston. Switch of play here from the FA Academy. Doveston. Jurgovic. Clever touch for Franco. He's run very hard today. You can see the just over an hour's running has sapped maybe that top end speed of hers, as it has most of the players that have been out there for all of this one. Tam has the ball come to her in time. Switch of play across. Biggs to Kokotis. Yaria clears out to give her some room on the left. Cox closes her down. Blocked out for another corner for the Football Victoria Academy. They have threatened from these set pieces. And we can see it looks like they're going to refrain the tactic they have throughout this contest. Alice Franco coming across and standing right in front of Marla Monroe, denying her a clean look or a clean path towards the ball. On that occasion, she didn't need one, as it was taken short. Sails over the head of Theodora Wilson initially. She recovers in time to put the ball out. And we will have another drinks break here at the home of the Matildas. No goals across the opening 20 minutes of this second stanza, which means that the Football Victoria Academy remain on track for their first win of the 2025 campaign. 4 defeats to start the season for coach Santi Escudero's side. Looking at the live ladder, they would remain bottom of the league with a win today. Their goal difference minus 12, really hurting them. But as it stands, they would at least bring themselves closer to that mid-table pack within a game of 11 through 8th, who on the live ladder at 8th is FC Bulleen Lions. They have fallen behind against the Essendon Royals in their contest out at Cross Keys Reserve. The Royals just taking the lead in that one. So on the live table, the Royals on track for their second win of the campaign, and Bulleen on track for their third defeat. In other games around the grounds, Alamein and Heidelberg currently locked at 1-1, and in the 4 p.m. kickoff, Boroondara and Preston yet to have a goal scored in that one. Tam. Across to Biggs. He'll send it back out to that right flank. Over the head of Jugovic. Clever turn in the middle of the park. They also Olasino, and then she's knocked it forward, and the ball will sit up kindly. Flanagan knocks it forward. The foot race is on. Who's going to get there first? Lorena Yaria, the speedster on the flank for the FV Academies, prevents what looked like it would have been a certain goal had a player in white gotten there first. But that ball sitting up perfectly for Flanagan. Rahorison, as she has done on a few occasions this afternoon, was off her line and steaming out to try to clear it away, but the ball not kind to the goalkeeper. Well, now watch as this ball is sailed in from the left flank. Big pack of players, bounced off Cox, didn't know much about it. Play still alive. Zekas couldn't knock it back central. And the result of all that is a goal kick to the hosts. 70th minute here at the home of the Matildas. We really had all of our goals in about 15 or so minutes, give or take. The FV Academy racing to a 2-0 lead before Box Hill dragged it back to 2-1 just after the half an hour mark. Olasino tried to let it run. The Academy wasn't having any of it. Goodsmith sends it out to the left. Unfortunately for her, Eva Coquitos had just strayed into an offside position. Hudson booms it forward. Macunha heads it central, keeps coming. 50-50 ball, no. The Box Hill attacker adjudged to have unfairly brought down her opponent, and the FV Academy have themselves a free kick from which they can look to build. Annabelle Yates. Goodsmith. Some of these junior Matildas in action for the FV Academy combining. Quite a few international representatives out there today for the FV Academy, as you would expect from an NTC program side. Jugovic trying to impose herself on the game. The ball in. Just knocked clear by Zekas. Olasino trying to direct traffic out to Flanagan on the left. Turns on the afterburners, round one. She's got two players arriving to target. Macunha is one of them, but she was in an offside position. And as you would expect of an FV Academy side, immediately upon losing the ball, they were all running back in unison, all sprinting to assume a defensive shape. So even though one of their number was beaten, she had plenty of support to shut down the attack. Next ball intended for Doveston, picked out. And she's going to be pressured by Macunha, and then decides that discretion is the better part of valour and puts it out. Cox tries to split the difference, and he's hacked down, and that will be a free kick. So Katie Cox, one of Box Hill's better players today. Josephine Olasino trying to impact the game as well. The American contingent for Pythagoras. It's the latter on the ball right now. Can she pick out a teammate? Two-player wall for the FV Academy. Driven towards the back post. The players were there. One of them was Zoe Hudson, but her header is rising, was always rising, and goes out as we see the FV Academy preparing to make a change. Hardy Dalton preparing to come on. Believe in place of the FV Academy's second goal scorer of the day, Alice Franco. Coming off, you can see that she has absolutely run herself into the ground. But she did get her reward in the first half. Bought a ticket, won the raffle. Error from Marla Monroe on a wickedly taken shot. Seeing the ball roll into the net, and that goal, with just over 15 minutes of regulation remaining on the scoreboard here at the home of the Matildas, plus any added time, is the difference between the two sides. Olasino, she's certainly doing her bit to try to drag her side to a leveller. That attack peters out. Kokotis still on the ball. Switch of play. Offside. Taken quickly by Box Hill. Flanagan again just looking to beat Annabelle Yates for pace. Yates got back. Flanagan retained possession. The senior Philippine international. Poking it forward, hoping that Simpson could get onto it. Play on is the call. That attempt to just slice the ball in behind picked out. Booted forward. Hardy Dalton in pursuit. She's fresh, just onto the park. Zekas did well to turn it around the corner and find a teammate. Hudson knocks it forward for Simpson, but she'd come back from an offside position. And Jade Tam can have this free kick, which is taken short to Eva Goodsmith. Walked back central by Aria. Comes out to Biggs to Tam. Simpson in pursuit. Horrison comes under pressure now. Has to get rid of it in a hurry. Ball up for grabs. Appeals for handball against Doveston. They're ignored. Jurgovic out on the right. Can look up, try to pick out a teammate. She does! Off the post and back into play. Clancy Westaway. A coat of paint denies her what surely would have been the game's deciding moment. It was a fantastic cross by Jurgovic to pick her out. And then Westaway didn't do much wrong at all, but just unable to find the net and take that third goal. And that cross strays too close to Monroe. Ball up for grabs, and Westaway almost forced the high turnover. Box Hill survive, and now Elwyn Parbury has some space to run into. The defence collapsed in on her, but she couldn't find the angle to get it out. To Isabella Flanagan on the left. Game really beginning to become stretched now. Desperation from Box Hill combining with fatigue. There's more space now. Transition back and forth in these last few exchanges. Well, Lucino's dropped deep to be part of the build-up. Monroe knocks it forward. Lucino goes central. Macunya was told she had time, but turned into trouble. Tam up there defending. Lucino takes it past her. Goodsmith was on the scene. The ball gets played out to Parbury. Knocked in, Simpson's there. So is Rahorison. Charlotte Rahorison came up with a series of big saves in the opening half and has proven adept at judging her angles and coming out and snuffing out potential danger for FV Academy. One of several players who has really stood up for Coach Cynthia Escudero's side this afternoon. Of course, every game for the FV Academy so big, all of them streamed live and free on the NPL Victoria YouTube page. Undoubtedly, frequent viewers of these streams would be the newly appointed Junior Matildas head coach Michael Cooper, as well as probably the newly appointed Young Matildas coach Alex Aparkas. Those two coaches arriving as what looks to be a complete reset of the national team coaching ranks for Australia. Of course, the search for a senior Matildas coach goes on. Widely expected to be Joe Montemuro's job if he wants it. Former Young Matildas coach Leah Blaney, now assistant for Japan's senior national team. Well-deserved opportunity for Leah Blaney. Ray Dow is stepping away from the junior Matildas. Mel Andrietta this week announced as head coach of Scotland. As Flanagan, space for Isabella Flanagan. She looks up, she goes for goal herself. The high palm of Rahorison denies her. Flanagan on the ball once more, laying it off. High ball in, Macunya the target, it falls for her. And then it's going to come out for Cox! Goals in 3 straight games for Katie Cox. And in the final 10 minutes here at the home of the Matildas, the American midfielder, the Bowling Green alumni, ties this game up for her new side at 2 goals apiece. The desperation that had been displayed by Coach Kongulan Sabaratnam's side, you could see it growing with each foray forward that came to nothing. And eventually, the dam wall bursts. They get their reward as the Football Victoria Academy make a change. Gracie Clarkson coming onto the park for Annika Doveston. Clarkson, one start this season against Heidelberg. Back in round 3, came off the bench last week. And then Cox immediately winning the ball back for Box Hill. She's trying to drag her side over the line in this one, as is Flanagan. Going for goal, Flanagan, but Rahorison judged it well. Wasn't hit with as much venom as perhaps a Flanagan about 80 or so minute ago manages. But a grandstand finish appears to be on the agenda here at the home of the Matildas. Clarkson, ball in her hands, hurls it forward. Dalton was the intended recipient, couldn't get out to her. Jay Tam, the switch of play, it's a great switch of play, just the touch from Iaria, maybe just not quite coming off. She's gone across to that right flank. have been up and down the left for large portions of this game. Does know where the goals are, Yari. Arrived last season from Calder United. There's one goal already this season. Former Goulburn Valley Sun regional project. Scored 22 goals in 22 games for Calder's under-19s back in 2022. No doubt something that helped get her on the radar of the NTC program. Macunya shrugs off the challenge. Macunya's through one-on-one. Can she win this game for Box Hill? No! Rahorison denies her. And then Gracie Clarkson cops a wicked falcon to the face that sees the ball roll out for a corner. Fantastic keeper from Rahorison. Leads to the friendly fire on Clarkson. So Clarkson is back to her feet. Ella Hamilton is up, waiting to come on for the FV Academy. See if that changes. For Clarkson's only been on the park a matter of minutes. Looks like potentially Santi Escudero doesn't want to defend this corner with just 10 players on the park. And he does get the attention of referee Shab Saban. And it is going to be Clarkson for Hamilton, so don't want to mess around with head injuries. Clarkson comes off. Hamilton comes on. 86th minute. FV Academy back at full strength to defend this corner. Rahorison gets a punch. It's back inside from Zikas, and Rahorison takes the big grab. Gather rounds in Adelaide this week, but Rahorison with the big mark at the home of the Matildas to snuff out that danger. But Zikas getting back and getting across with the sliding challenge, drawing applause from her dugout. Biggs, monstered by Simpson, who wins the ball. Box Hill steaming forward in numbers. Flanagan's attempts to slide it through for Olasino gets blocked away. That'll be a free kick. FV Academy want to take it quickly, and they do. Kokotis, fresher legs, the substitute. High ball in, and it will just fly into the side netting here at the home of the Matildas. Goal kick for Box Hill. Feel as though the momentum potentially behind Pythagoras, but the end-to-end nature of this contest means that both sides right in it. Macunya, ball in for Horison. Again making the claim. Hasn't she been big for the FV Academy in this contest? The 18-year-old runs to the edge of her box and puts her boot through it, looking for distance. Sent back by Box Hill, only as far as Tam. Yaria over there, trying to win the ball. Working against Theodora Wilson. Wilson had backup in the form of Zikas, who just knocks it up the touchline. Flanagan, desperate to keep it in, and does. Turning and facing Her attacking goal. Biggs with a defensive header. Tam knocking it into space. Macunya. Back to Hudson. Box Hill trying to build. Goodsmith getting into the back of Macunya. Wanted a free kick. Advantage played perhaps. Olasino. She's round a couple. Round a third. Flanagan makes the run. Points where she wants it. Doesn't arrive in time. Simpson can't get there. Desperate defending by the FV Academy. Sees off the danger. And they will have a throw in. Carries all the trappings, this one, of a heavyweight fight that is approaching the distance, and sapped of all their energy. Both have just come to the middle of the ring and are throwing haymakers at each other, looking to find that knockout that'll win it for them. Macunya doing her best to not give away the ghost of a handball. Doesn't fool referee Shab Shaban. She's not going to let the FV Academy steal any meters. Goodsmith. This metronome in the midfield for the FV Academy. Sends it across to the right. Wasn't the best of deliveries as Flanagan was there in a flash. Macunya is in behind again. She's working against Biggs, but Horrison desperately scrambling one way and then the other. Her clearance goes only as far as Cox. She can't bring it down cleanly. FV Academy wanted a free kick, and they get one. Box Hill furious. 4 minutes of added time is signalled for at the home of the Matildas. Four minutes, 240 seconds for one of these two sides to dig deep and potentially find a winner. This game was adjudged to be the game of the week at Football Victoria, and these last exchanges looking to deliver on the hype. Box Hill doing most of the attacking in these final stages. Trying to find their way once more, but repulsed. Players falling everywhere. Olasino kept her feet, then goes down under the pressure from Goodsmith, and that's a free kick against the FV Academy skipper. And Olasino opts to just take her time with it. And that will enable the likes of Zikas to get forward. Numbers forward for Box Hill. Everybody assembling on the edge of the penalty area, awaiting this delivery. It's a high ball in. Cox and Macunya were there for Box Hill. Neither could send it central. Transition potentially on for the FV Academy. Westaway knocks it forward. Goodsmith, she's through. No, she's not. She's offside. The flag has been cruel to both of these sides throughout this contest, and on that occasion denies the FV Academy a potential late winner. Cox spins, looking for Olasino. Foot race is on. She pokes it out. Flanagan. Yates sprints back to try to put some pressure on her. High ball in over Macunya. Bree arrives. Ball back post, offside. Harrison didn't know that that flag had gone up behind her. She was hurling herself around. Santi Escudero directing traffic from his dugout, barking instructions to Ella Hamilton. As the ball is knocked forward, foot race is on. Monroe comes out, clears it away. The young keeper had her struggles, had her errors in the first half, but she's done her bit in this second stanza. As her side restored parity and have hurled themselves forward late, looking for a winner. Goodsmith sends it out to the right. Ball comes in central, just headed upwards by Westerway. Look forward for Macunya. Bouncing ball up for grabs. Handball or Falcon? It was a handball. Does FV Academy want to take it quick, or will they too use the opportunity to get numbers forward? Well, they won't have a choice. Simpson gets in front of it and stands over it. And here we go. All hands on deck for both of these sides. Flanagan and Macunya have stayed high for Box Hill. Looking to break in transition. Goodsmith standing over it for the FV Academy. Two-player wall. Goodsmith's delivery. It's straight at the keeper who takes the grab. Chestmark. Safe as houses. And that will be all that was written here at the home of the Matildas. There will be no final foray forward for Box Hill. They dragged themselves back into this contest from 2-0 down to 2-2. Katie Cox with the lone goal of this second stanza to ensure the spoils will be split in a game that finished with an almighty crescendo, but no winning goal. The FV Academy, they get their first point of the season. 4 wins and now a draw after 5 rounds. They next week will travel to face Spring Hills on Friday evening. Box Hill United now 3 games unbeaten. Their second draw of the season. Sorry, they're now 4 games unbeaten. That loss in round 1 to Bulleen, followed by a draw, 2 wins and another draw. They next week will host rivals South Melbourne on Friday evening at Wembley Park. They will be missing a few players for that one. Isabella Flanagan amongst them, but momentum perhaps beginning to build at Pythagoras' back. Both of those games next week you can watch live and free on the NPL Victoria YouTube page, as you can every game of the 2025 NPL Women's Victoria season, every game of the 2025 NPL Men's Victoria season, Nike FC Cup matches, Doherty Cup matches, and a select few other fixtures, all live and free. Be a friend, tell a friend, get them subscribed as well. My name has been Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for your company on this fine Saturday afternoon. From the home of the Matildas, that final score one last time, FV Academy 2, Box Hill United 2. Thanks and success. If it stressed you out, it was entertaining for the neutral.
Clancy's opportunity in post.
Charlotte.